Greetings from the farm this week for the first winter share of the season. A lot of the stuff is actually coming from outdoors yet, even though we had hard frost or mild freeze, I guess, whichever way you want to call it. Many of the things are still growing outside, or maybe not growing, but they're fine. So in the share this week, it doesn't all fit on the table. We have parsley and lacinato kale, both of which were just harvested yesterday outdoors. The parsley can go down to pretty low temperatures, as can the kale. The kale is much sweeter than summer kale because it has been through a frost. We have sweet potatoes that pair very nicely with sage again. The sage, we like to fry it in oil or butter and then toss it on roasted sweet potatoes out of the oven. We have peppers that we brought in. The peppers were harvested before the frost on Friday, and so there are no hot peppers in the share. So these long pointy ones are actually sweet, they're Carmen's. And we had a few lunchbox peppers that are in a few shares, so we kind of alternated. We have a winter kohlrabi. This is the variety is Cossack. It can actually get to the size of a basketball. So if you see a giant kohlrabi, don't be terrified of it. We didn't put any in shares that were that big.
Some of them are pretty big.
Some of them are pretty big.
It's great in stir fry.
Great, yeah. You stir fry it. It tastes kind of like a nice broccoli stem. You can steam it. You can eat it raw.
Cedar Rapids will like that. It's also great if you just process the whole thing at once and then slice it up into sticks. It makes for a really good snack.
Yeah, just prepare it in advance and put it in a container in your crisper drawer in your refrigerator. We have beets that came out of the field. The beets this year were wonderful with the drought. They sweetened up and taste really nice. Yellow onions, and the yellow onions, we tried to put enough in the share that it'll allow you to use them in multiple recipes. They are pretty potent. And just keep them out on your kitchen counter. Same with the garlic. 2 heads of garlic, just keep it out on your kitchen counter somewhere where it's dark. More Romanesco cauliflower. If you were in the summer share, you got to see some of these. The Romanesco is a type of heirloom cauliflower from Italy. We really like to eat it either raw or we steam it like we would broccoli. You can also stir fry with it. It does kind of go mushy if you overcook it. More broccoli that came from out in the field. The broccoli this fall has been fantastic. If you want to, feel free to peel the stems and eat those as well. Potatoes, we either have regular potatoes or if you're seeing some that look kind of oblong, we had a few fingerling potatoes left in the cooler, so some shares got fingerling potatoes. The fingerlings are wonderful roasted in the oven, and the other potatoes are wonderful roasted in the oven as well. And probably my favorite thing in the share is a wonderful 2-pound bag of Brussels sprouts. These are probably the nicest and largest Brussels sprouts we've ever put in the share before. So you pick them off the top of the plant. The ones that you'll get in later weeks likely won't be quite as large, but they should gradually get sweeter as they keep getting repeated frosts. So if you're worried about getting through all of this food at once, the sweet potatoes don't refrigerate, just put them out on your counter as well. They aren't fully cured. You can see the skins are very thin. You don't have to peel them or anything. If you're worried about getting through all of this, it is kind of nice to do a prep like an hour or so. So you could prep the kohlrabi, the broccoli, and the Romanesco, and it will keep for a very long time, even post-prep.
And the nice thing is then you can just pull it out of your crisper drawer and steam it, bake it, whatever.
Use it, whatever. For the next week or two, I mean, the broccoli and the Romanesco should keep about that long as well.
But if you want to store the Romanesco and the broccoli, the best thing to do is have it in a sealed sack, something similar to the Brussels sprouts there. Because if they have access to cold air in the fridge, they'll
get limp.
They'll dehydrate.
Yep. So this it's been kind of chilly picking the last couple of days. I have to admit, my fingers are slightly stiff. But this really is probably my favorite share of the year. I really enjoy these winter boxes. So coming up, we'll have more roots. So think turnips, rutabaga, celeriac, parsnips, carrots. The reason we do not have carrots in this week's share, that's my only bummer for the week, is that it's wet enough that we're having difficulty digging them. We do have them, and we'll have them in future shares. But they're digging slowly and harvesting slowly, or washing slowly, I should say. So until 2 weeks from now, have a good one.